Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Haven't made a video in a few days, but thought I'd make a Christmas video. And actually today is Christmas morning here in San Diego, Southern California. I'll just pan around the street here for a second. This street is about as quiet as you're ever going to see it because it's Christmas morning. It's a little bit cold, a little bit rainy, and everything's very, very quiet here in Southern California. But I want to talk a little bit about the cryptos. I want to talk about EOS and a few other things I want to talk about tonight, because obviously crypto market is down. A lot of people are very negative about it right now. And actually even with us, I haven't made videos here recently because it's just been so negative. It's kind of like, you're getting, the views have gone down quite a bit and people are less interested, and everybody's talking about the same thing. So, why don't we just continue to rehash what it is we're talking about, which is, whether EOS is going to make it or not, whether, things are going to turn around, just a lot of stuff that's, in my opinion, it just isn't really going anywhere, because I do have my opinions on things, and I will give it to you in a second here. But just to kind of rehash what everybody's doing, and with me included. I mean, I've been making the same videos. It kind of is what it is, so I haven't been making videos. But I will start making videos because I do believe 2020 is going to be a much, much better year. I believe the halving of Bitcoin is going to make a huge difference, and I just believe the whole market's going to turn around here very soon. And as far as EOS is concerned, we can talk all day long about what's going on with EOS, the problems it has, the positives that it has. But the bottom line with me, with EOS, is that EOS has the right people involved. And I've said this before, early on when I was a stockbroker, I was so caught up with the fundamentals of companies, what the balance sheet was doing, what the earnings statements were doing, all the things that I thought, this is the fundamentals of the company. You got to figure this out before you can recommend it to somebody else. And obviously, if you recommend it to somebody else, they're putting their money into it. So you don't want to be wrong because they're going to blame you. So I was very hung up on this. And a seasoned broker came to me one day and said, "Kid, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't need to go through all that stuff. You're just being an idiot. Start looking at the people involved. That's all you need to do. Just look at the people involved." There are certain people that always made things work, and there are certain people that never made things work, or didn't make things work if they weren't known or they didn't know the business very well. Look at who's involved. And that's what I'm telling you with EOS. Look who's involved. First of all, you've got Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert's been successful with two other projects, BitShares and Steemit. He's been around a long, long, long time. He really is kind of the inventor of a lot of this stuff. Graphene and some of the other things that he's come up with. He's probably one of the most solid people in the world today as far as cryptocurrencies and blockchains are concerned. So he is a legitimate, real person to do this. The second person you got to look at is, you got to look at a guy like Mike Novogratz. Mike Novogratz is so connected. I mean, this guy was I think was vice president of Goldman Sachs. He was a hedge fund manager. He's worth billions and billions of dollars. You don't get to be worth billions and billions of dollars unless you know people, and you're very connected, and you have a lot of grounding in the world of finance. You look at people like Peter Thiel, one of the guys that was founding people with Facebook. I mean, Peter Thiel is known for, everybody knows Peter Thiel. He's the kind of people involved with EOS. And then you look at the final thing that makes me know EOS is going to be successful, is the fact that they've gotten this waiver with the Security and Exchange Commission, which is everything. That's everything. I mean, you look at the picture of Dan Lambert, Brandon Bloomer in front of the SEC logo behind him, or the Security Exchange thing behind him. That tells you right there. I mean, what they're sending you out, a message is, hey, we got it done. We did it. We got the blessings of the regulatory committee here, or the committee of the Federal Reserve, or the Federal Exchange, Security Exchange Commission, and we're in. We've got the government blessing. That's what that was about. That picture was about telling you that they've got the blessings of the U.S. government, and having the blessings of the U.S. government is huge because, of course, the dollar is world exchange currency. So this is all very positive stuff for EOS, and this is why EOS probably won't fail, highly unlikely to fail, and probably will be the consensus network for the future. And I think it's a good thing. Even though a lot of people have a problem with the 21 block producers, what do we have today? We've got the banks and insurance companies as your consensus network. So the banks and the insurance companies make decisions on as far as the third party is concerned. Who's going to treat you better, the 21 block producers in China or the banks and the insurance companies? I don't know. And they're not all in China right now anyway, so they're all over the world. But anyway, I'd put my faith in the 21 block producers over the banks and the insurance companies any day of the week. And if you don't believe me, just go Google Wells Fargo Bank and see how Wells Fargo Bank has done in the past as far as being a protector of the people and the individuals. Just see how well they've done in the past. So the consensus network of the 21 block producers, I think, is a good third party for us to rely on or depend on over the insurance companies and the banks, as well as the fact that this is on the blockchain, which means it's all recorded and it's irreversible and of course it's available for people to see. So I mean, obviously it's a much cleaner system to me than the banks and the insurance companies that are currently running the world. The other thing I want to talk to about, the final things I want to talk to, is I did a live stream the other day and somebody talked to me about HEX, which is a guy by the name of Richard Heart. I see a lot of people making videos about it. He's made a ton of videos. I've tried to watch his videos about Hex. It's hard to watch and find out exactly what it is he's doing because before he really gets a word out, everybody's calling him a scammer, which I don't think is entirely fair because I don't think the guy. I mean, I actually think of him as somebody that's good for the space. It's good for the because he is somebody that's trying to come up with ideas, good ideas, better ways of doing things if you like him or dislike him. But the thing about his idea, which I think is kind of what this video is about tonight, is the fact that he's relying so heavily on the fact that his hex is going to be approved by the Security and Exchange Commission as a non-security, which he may be right. I don't know, but he's thoroughly decided that he's not in violation of the Howey test, which I think is something that he should reconsider, because the Howey test is just black letter law, and black letter law doesn't mean anything. Law is determined by lawyers, and if you think the bad people are in crypto, you haven't even thought very hard about this because you have never done anything in the law. The crypto people make the lawyers look like the crypto people are Sunday school teachers compared to the law and the lawyers. They're the ones that determine if you're a security or not the Howey test. Howey test is just black letter law. It has nothing to do with whether you're a security or not. The law firms and the lawyers decide that, and the Security and Exchange Commission, and that's where the test is, not in how you read the law and how your personal interpretation of it is. So that, in that respect, I think that he needs to reevaluate. But that's what I'm talking about as far as this stuff is concerned. EOS has the blessings of the Security and Exchange Commission, a waiver, $25 million, and everybody talks about the $25 million. I will guarantee you this: the $25 million is peanuts compared to what they paid their law firm. They paid their law firm a lot more than that. A lot more than that. I would almost assure you that EOS paid a law firm many times the amount they paid the Security and Exchange Commission, because that's the way the world works. The world works that you got to pay the high-priced lawyers in order to get these decisions. You just don't rush in there and say, oh, we got a good day on the Security and Exchange Commission and they liked us and we got a good deal. No, you have to pay your attorneys lots of money. If you look it up, you find out who the attorneys were. They're a Cooley law firm out of Silicon Valley. They deal with these people every day, all day long. They'll charge you a lot of money to do so. And that's how you get these problems fixed, is by going to the big-time, high-priced attorneys and spending lots of money. You don't get it fixed by just deciding on your own that you're a security or not a security. So anyway, I wish him well. Like I said, I think he adds value to the space. I like to listen to him. I think he's very entertaining. He has a lot of knowledge, but I think he needs to reevaluate about the Security and Exchange Commission. And I think EOS's evaluation, getting the waiver, is everything. It's everything. It's the future. It's what it means to be in this. And I think if you've picked EOS, you picked right, based on the fact that Hester Pierce which is one of the commissioners of the Security and Exchange Commission, was at one of their last get-togethers. So if that doesn't tell you something, kind of wake up and smell coffee, because that's the way the world works. It doesn't work on sitting down and making evaluations and saying, oh, I think, this particular, or like they do with Bitcoin right now. Oh, they've got all these issues with their with the way their code is being run or anything like that. It's not going to have much to do with that. It's going to have more to do with who you know, not how well your code is run or how well your code is structured or who's behind your code. It's going to be more of who you know and what you know, the people you know, and how much you get connected in the world, if you know what I mean. If you've been around for a while, you understand what I'm saying. It's like I say, it's the way the world operates. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.